These controversial rooms are found in schools nationwide, and they're making headlines. Scream rooms in Connecticut, kids repeatedly secluded in Idaho, and as punishment in Kansas. Maine's talking about their dangerous seclusion rooms, and here in Columbus, a student locked in a closet-sized room.
He was traumatized, and he was just describing the room as being scary and putting him on fire.
That room is a seclusion room in Eastmoor Academy, a Columbus City school. And that mom is talking about her 18-year-old son who has autism and his terrifying time inside that room. The Columbus City School District calls them processing rooms, rooms used to help students with special needs calm themselves when they become upset and can be a danger to themselves and others. We're only referring to this mother, Myra, by her first name because she's concerned about her son's safety.
But then there's this little old area over there with a door, and that's what they led me to, and it was locked, and I heard him screaming. So I was shocked. I was just totally shocked.
In early March, I told Columbus City Schools I'd like to see that processing room here at Eastmoor Academy. I've made that request at least 4 more times. So far, the district has refused. They say it's because of a pending lawsuit with the Ohio Legal Rights Service about Myra's case. This is video from a Vermont TV station with a room that appears to be similar based on what Myra has told me. It's a small room with padded walls. The only difference, in Vermont, the district has taken off the door. In Columbus, we're told the door is still in place. Myra says she knows her son can become aggressive. According to these forms filled out by school staff on October 27, 2011, Myra's son punched a staff member, and that's when he was put in a seclusion room. Myra says she agreed to have her son put in a large sensory room, but she never signed off on a small seclusion room.
And then the door was metal, and I don't remember seeing a window on the door, and then it had like a latch on it. But it was, you know, it was pretty narrow. I mean, it's like this, you know, it certainly wasn't a room.
Myra says she told the district several times not to put her son in that seclusion room. She found out on November 7th, 2011, her son was placed in that room 4 times. That's 4 times in one day. Myra says he urinated on himself and as a result got a staph infection. The district won't speak directly about this case, but the district does say they deny that parents were unaware that their students were being placed in processing rooms. They also deny that they did not monitor the use of processing rooms. But it's not just parents in Columbus who are concerned over these rooms. That concern is statewide. Attorney Amy Gilman sees those concerns every day.
The state of Ohio has done nothing, absolutely nothing, to create any kind of policies, rules, legislation that would that would govern the use of restraint and seclusion in the state of Ohio.
And Ohio is not alone in its lax regulations. According to a report by Jessica Butler and the Autism National Committee, only 30 states have laws regarding the use of either restraint or seclusion rooms. Currently, Ohio only has a law regarding restraints, but nothing about seclusion rooms. Gilman works with families with special needs children. She says a lot of kids can't tell their parents what is happening to them and that districts are using seclusion rooms as an easy solution.
And there's no literature that supports the use of those techniques as an effective way of managing behavior. And districts aren't using it really to try and enable the child to manage the behavior on their own. They're simply using it to get the kid out of the way.
So what's being done to protect kids in Ohio? I've learned that in 2009, the Ohio Department of Education formed a group to develop policies on the use of seclusion rooms. But because of administrative changes, their work was put on hold. 3 years later, Ohio still has nothing.
You know, here it is, 2012. It's been over 2 years. What has taken so long for this to be looked at?
Sure, it's understandable that you would have the question. I do understand that we were involved in the multi-state agency work group from the beginning back in 2009. We've also had some transition at the agency. There's been sort of a new administration come through. There have been some people who have gone. So unfortunately, I mean, the project took a bit of a sideline.
With people just leaving, why was it just dropped?
Well, I won't say that it was absolutely dropped. I would say that with folks moving and transitioning into possibly different positions, the work was there. It's just that, you know, sometimes, you know, things do get sidelined.
Why all of a sudden, after 2 years, this urgency to look at it now?
Well, I mean, there have been recent reports of issues in some school districts. That's one thing that we definitely take note of. I mean, these are serious issues, serious concerns. The other point is we know that school districts really do need some more tools and some resources.
The State Board of Education now says this is a priority. Two groups are listening to educators, advocates, and other states about the use of seclusion rooms. ODE says they will give a policy to the State Board sometime this summer. It will take the State Board 5 to 6 months to make the new policies. In the meantime, ODE will provide regional training statewide by the 2013-2014 school year, and policies should be in place by 2014-2015. Gilman says having policies in place is a start, but it's nothing without making sure staff is properly trained.
The training is a major, major piece of this. Without that, this isn't going to go away. Because we have policies for lots of things. We have bullying policies, but that doesn't mean that bullying doesn't happen every day in the state of Ohio either.
Now, if your district is going to admit and accept students like that, you need to be trained. It was obvious that they wasn't prepared.
Myra was hoping her son would graduate high school this year, but that's probably not going to happen. She's had to take him out of class.
And my son has socially regressed. He doesn't want to be around nobody but me. He's traumatized. You know, he still has flashbacks.